Alright, welcome back everybody. We're here doing the Feather Cup, and to start off, let's do another tour map, which, honestly, I don't remember this one being too bad, so, seeing as I don't, remember it being frustrating to me, I feel like it's probably fine. Fingers crossed that, I don't regret those words. I mean, the map looks like a mess, but it's probably fine. But, well, because I drive into a wall. Well, anyway, one of, another kind of, thought trail that I was having earlier was, I was just thinking about how, as I've gotten older, I feel like I haven't been as interested in doing things like, I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase, but basically, I don't really do much competitive online multiplayer anymore, if I'm being honest. I feel like I did a lot more when I was younger, but I'm maybe it's just because I'm more busy all the time. Or just because, gonna be honest, I'm in such a, interesting, I guess, era for myself where the biggest, projects that I've been working on as of late, and honestly just games that I've been playing by myself or with other people that, I'm not even recording, are basically, co-op multiplayer games, like Repo or Peak and that kind of thing. Or some of the newer games, I have been keeping up with some of the Switch 2 games that I've been interested in, and every now and then I'll grab another game on my PS5 and start that too. But in terms of just purely competitive, I feel like I don't do much anymore. I feel like the most that I do at this point is, playing online in terms of Call of Duty, or I play Rainbow Six Siege as well. So I still do stuff like that, but gonna be honest, I'm so hot and cold with it that I swear I'll be playing it nonstop for a week or so, and then I don't touch it for another 2 months, and then repeat the cycle. So again, I don't know if that's just me being in a spot where, I've been busy with other things. I got life and other things to worry about, so I don't have as much time as I would necessarily like to just only, play games. But at the same time, I do think it's funny how, consistently inconsistent I am, if that makes sense. And don't even get me started on the list of games that, I have on the either finish or get to list. That's, a good... I could probably fill, a couple pages worth of games that are in that boat that I've either bought and haven't played, started, never finished, or that kind of thing. And it's... a lot of the times, too, it's not even that I dislike a game that I don't finish. I put it down and then I start something else. I'm so bad at that. Maybe I have some, ADHD or something. Or is it ADD? One of those two. It's maybe I have one of those because I just am so all over the place all the time that, I just never got any official diagnosis for it or anything, but who knows. Either way, I'm the whole point that I'm kind of getting at is that, well, the point that I was trying to get at before, rambling and going on longer tangents was that I honestly don't do a ton in the sense of competitive multiplayer anymore. I think also just because I'm in a spot where I used to be like really competitive when it came to winning games. Gonna be honest, it's like my brother could attest to this. You could ask Mr. Blubber Nuggets, and he can vouch for this. But I used to be like highly competitive and kind of a sore loser. But I'm like, nowadays I don't care as much, and I have a lot more carefree attitude when it comes to games. I still get frustrated, sometimes, especially when I'm playing like against like random people online. I feel like that's when I get the most frustrated, because like I'll play with like teammates and stuff on certain games, and then if we're going up against like random people online, or have random teammates, if I'm like getting like super pissed and I start to like getting genuinely upset, I'll get mad at like the randos, kind of like rant to my teammates that I have like actually on like some sort of call, or that I know personally, and I'll like rant to them about it, like how pissed off it's making me. But I never actually trash my actual teammates that I'm playing with, because I just don't see a point to doing that, because it's like if they're willing to play with me, then gonna be honest, they're just either trying to have fun, or like they're doing their best. So it's like I'm not here to critique their gameplay or anything, because I'm far from like a professional in any of these games anyway. So it's not that I could critique their gameplay to begin with. Plus, I swear, a lot of the times, like the people that I play with, at least that I feel, because you can communicate with them, like when something goes wrong in a game, it's one of those things where it's like, well, we just got like outplayed, nothing you can do about it. It's like, oh, I just took a bad angle, missed some shots. It happens, because it happens to me all the time. So it's like, yeah, no, it's fine. I swear, like when I'm dealing with random teammates though, and like there's no communication there, oh, I swear some of the times I'm just like, after watching some of the plays that they do, I'm just like mouth drop, like gawking at how dumb it was. Like, it could be as simple as all you have to do is literally survive for like 5 seconds, and instead of just staying put where no one knows where you are, you run out into the open and get instantly destroyed. And I'm just sitting there like, why in the world would you ever do that? But gonna be honest, I have no clue. But I feel like in terms of my gaming, that's where I'm at. Or I've been super into the randomizers lately. That's kind of been like my new discovery that I've been doing a bunch of stuff on. So hopefully like you guys have been enjoying like that kind of stuff. Like I did the Donkey Kong 64 randomizers, and here coming up, like I've been doing some testing with some people to kind of get the gist of how like the setup for the randomizers work and everything, because sometimes it's can be a bit complicated. But eventually I do want to start doing some multiplayer randomizers, and at some point I've even thought of starting to stream some gameplay of doing some multi-world randomizers. It would have to be on like probably like Saturdays or Sundays if I ever decide to do that, but I've thought about it at least. I just am not super well versed in how stream setups and all that stuff work. Plus, gonna be honest, at the moment, like I feel like a lot of people, when they have like the stream setup and everything, they do like a dual monitor set, and I just have one monitor, so I could probably do a dual monitor. I would just have to buy another monitor, but just I do not have the money to buy another monitor at the moment. So, But, you know, this is all just kind of spitballing. You know, there's no for sure plan that I've come up with yet. But I just think, you know, some of these things would be fun to try out, and I think would also just be, you know, a bit more entertaining as well. And because I feel like, at least in my personal opinion, I feel like that type of content is something I at least enjoy watching. I feel like the hardest part about like randomizers and like archipelago and like all that stuff is I feel like it's still like, yeah, you have like more and more people, you know, doing stuff, but I feel like it's still kind of like a new concept still. I mean, there's so much quality of life improvements constantly being updated. There's like new games that are being added and updates to all of those. So there's just a lot that goes into it all. So I feel like it's still a relatively newer thing. I feel like there's, you know, still a lot of information that like everyone's learning about, myself included. There's still, you know, plenty of stuff that I have to learn about it, especially on, you know, like setting up everything. But I just think it would be fun, and I plan to do more randomizers in the future, just in general. So, but anyway, that was the Feather Cup. Honestly, not too difficult. I feel like it went pretty smoothly, but that'll be all from me for today. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.